The Maple Leafs have made a decision that almost nobody saw coming. They hired someone trusted by one of hockey's greatest stars for more than 20 years. And this move could be much bigger than it looks. Is this the final piece to end years of disappointment, or is Toronto quietly preparing for something even more surprising? The Toronto Maple Leafs have made one of the most interesting moves of the offseason, but it is not a trade, a free agent signing, or a coaching change behind the bench. Instead, the team hired Andy O'Brien to lead its sport performance department. At first, this might not sound like a huge story. After all, most fans pay attention to goals, assists, and blockbuster trades. But when you learn who Andy O'Brien is and why so many people around the NHL respect him, this move suddenly becomes much bigger than it first appears. Andy O'Brien is one of the most respected performance experts in hockey. For more than 20 years, he has worked closely with Sidney Crosby, helping one of the greatest players in NHL history stay in top condition year after year. Crosby has played through long seasons, recovered from injuries, and remained one of the league's best players well into his career. While Crosby deserves the credit for his success, O'Brien has long been an important part of his training and preparation behind the scenes. But Crosby is not the only star connected to O'Brien. Over the years, he has also worked with elite NHL players like Nathan MacKinnon and John Tavares. He has also been involved with professional organizations that value modern sports science and player development. That experience has made him one of the most trusted names in hockey performance. So why do the Maple Leafs want him? The answer is simple. Toronto is trying to improve every part of the organization, not just the players on the ice. Since John Chayka became the team's general manager, he has focused on making smart changes behind the scenes. Instead of looking for quick fixes, the organization is investing in areas that can help the team over many years. Andy O'Brien's new job is much bigger than running workouts in the gym. He will oversee the entire sport performance department. That includes strength and conditioning, sports science, nutrition, recovery programs, injury prevention, rehabilitation, and other performance systems designed to help players stay healthy and perform at their best throughout the long NHL season. Think about how important that really is. Every season, injuries, fatigue, and recovery can change the outcome of games. A player who recovers faster can practice more, perform better, and stay on the ice longer. Even small improvements in strength, endurance, and recovery can make a difference over an 82-game season. Toronto believes these small advantages can add up in a big way. To understand why this move matters, you have to look at how hockey has changed. Years ago, teams focused mostly on talent and hard work. Today, the best organizations also invest in sports science. They study how players train, recover, eat, sleep, and prepare for every game. These small details can make a big difference over a long NHL season. That is where Andy O'Brien's experience becomes valuable. His job is not to score goals or coach during games. His job is to help create an environment where players can perform at their highest level. Better recovery can help players feel stronger during busy schedules. Better conditioning can help them stay fast late in games. Better injury prevention may help keep key players on the ice instead of watching from the sidelines. General Manager John Chayka appears to be thinking about the future, not just the next few months. Since taking over hockey operations, he has continued making changes throughout the organization. Instead of focusing on one big headline, he has worked on improving different parts of the team behind the scenes. The hiring of Andy O'Brien fits that same plan. It is another step toward building a stronger foundation for long-term success. Of course, this move does not guarantee a Stanley Cup. No performance coach can promise championships, and fans know that winning still depends on the players, the coaches, and what happens on the ice. But successful teams often look for every possible advantage. If better preparation helps players stay healthier and perform more consistently, that could become an important part of Toronto's future. Many fans are especially interested because of O'Brien's long relationship with Sidney Crosby. For more than 20 years, Crosby has remained one of hockey's biggest stars despite injuries and the physical demands of the NHL. While Crosby's success comes from his own talent and dedication, Many people believe O'Brien's performance programs have helped him stay in elite condition throughout his career. That reputation is one reason this hiring has created so much excitement. The Maple Leafs also have a mix of experienced veterans and young talent. A strong performance program can benefit every player in different ways. Veterans may recover faster after games, while younger players can build healthy training habits early in their careers. If everyone improves even a little, the team as a whole could become stronger over an entire season. Now the attention turns to what happens next. One simple photo has Maple Leafs fans talking again, and the internet is filled with one big question. Why were Mitch Marner and Auston Matthews standing together after everything that happened? The images spread fast. Emotions exploded, and fans started wondering if this reunion means more than just friendship. But before jumping to conclusions, there's an important part of this story that almost everyone is missing. Mitch Marner may now wear the colors of the Vegas Golden Knights, but one recent post reminded hockey fans of his years with the Toronto Maple Leafs. During the NHL offseason, Marner shared a group of photos from his summer on social media. At first, the pictures looked like normal offseason memories, but one photo quickly caught everyone's attention. It showed Marner standing with Auston Matthews and several former Maple Leafs teammates during Frederik Andersen's wedding celebration. Within hours, the picture was being shared across hockey pages, and fans everywhere started talking about what it could mean. For many Maple Leafs fans, seeing Marner and Matthews together again brought back a lot of memories. The two stars spent years playing on the same team. They celebrated exciting wins, fought through tough playoff losses, and became two of the biggest faces of the franchise. Even though Marner has now started a new chapter with the Vegas Golden Knights, the friendship between the former teammates was clear in the wedding photos. The smiles and relaxed moments show that time together away from the ice can still bring old teammates together. The wedding itself made the reunion even more special. Frederik Andersen was not just another teammate. During his years with Toronto, Andersen became one of the team's most trusted goalies and shared many important moments with both Marner and Matthews. Over the years, Andersen and Marner have spoken warmly about their friendship. Even after Andersen left Toronto, they stayed in touch. That made his wedding the perfect place for former teammates to meet again, celebrate together, and enjoy time away from hockey. As the photos spread online, fans quickly began creating their own stories. Some people wondered if the reunion meant Marner missed Toronto. Others asked if Matthews wanted his former teammate back with the Maple Leafs one day. A few even suggested that something bigger could be happening behind the scenes. But it is important to separate excitement from facts. There has been no announcement about Marner returning to Toronto. There has been no report of contract talks, trade discussions, or secret meetings. The gathering happened because close friends came together to celebrate a wedding, not because of NHL business. It is also important to understand what these photos do not mean. Since Marner joined the Vegas Golden Knights, some fans have hoped he could return to Toronto one day. Others have wondered if he still keeps in touch with his former teammates. The wedding photos answered one question. Yes, the friendships are still there. But they did not answer another question that many fans continue asking. There has been no official report that Marner wants to return to the Maple Leafs. There have been no trade talks announced, no contract discussions, and no sign that this reunion had anything to do with hockey business. It was a private celebration shared with friends. Frederik Andersen's wedding gave everyone a chance to step away from the pressure of the NHL. During the season, players compete against each other and focus on helping their own teams win. But away from the ice, many players remain close friends. That is exactly what fans saw in these pictures. They saw former teammates laughing together, celebrating an important day, and enjoying time with people who have shared years of memories. Sometimes, the strongest hockey stories are not about goals or championships. They are about the friendships that continue long after teammates go their separate ways. Still, it is easy to understand why Leafs fans became emotional. For years, Marner and Matthews were two of the biggest stars in Toronto. Many supporters believed that group had everything needed to win the Stanley Cup. Although that dream never became reality, fans still remember the excitement those teams created. Seeing Marner standing beside Matthews again reminded many people of what could have been. That feeling alone was enough to make the photos spread across social media and hockey news pages within hours. As more fans reacted online, one thing became clear. This reunion was about respect, friendship, and shared history. It was not about making headlines with a surprise announcement. Sometimes, a single picture can bring back years of memories without anyone saying a word. That is exactly what happened here. Mitch Marner's post reminded the hockey world that while jerseys may change and careers may move in different directions, real friendships often remain the same. For now, the facts are clear. Mitch Marner is focused on his future with the Vegas Golden Knights. Auston Matthews remains the leader of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Frederik Andersen celebrated one of the happiest days of his life, surrounded by friends and former teammates. Beyond that, there is no confirmed hockey news hidden inside these photos. But one simple reunion has reminded everyone why this former Maple Leafs core is still one of the most talked about groups in the NHL, and fans will continue watching every interaction between these familiar faces. The Toronto Maple Leafs are making headlines again, but this isn't the trade anyone expected. A former first-round pick with an unbelievable comeback story is suddenly being connected to Toronto. Why are experts talking about this move now, and what could it mean for the Leafs? The Toronto Maple Leafs are once again at the center of NHL trade talk, but this time the name getting everyone's attention is not a superstar. Instead, it is Washington Capitals forward Ivan Miroshnichenko. A new report says hockey analysts believe Toronto should try to trade for the young winger before the new NHL season begins. While there's no official trade being discussed between the two teams, the idea has quickly become one of the biggest offseason conversations among Leafs fans. The question is simple. Could this be the hidden move that helps Toronto become a stronger team? Ivan Miroshnichenko is only 22 years old, but his hockey journey has already been filled with challenges. Before the 2022 NHL draft, many scouts believed he was one of the best young players available. Then everything changed when he was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma. It was a difficult moment that could have ended his hockey dream. Instead of giving up, Miroshnichenko fought through treatment, recovered, and returned to the ice. His determination inspired people across the hockey world, and the Washington Capitals still believed in his talent enough to select him in the first round of the draft. Since joining the Capitals organization, Miroshnichenko has spent most of his time developing with the Hershey Bears in the American Hockey League, while also earning opportunities in the NHL. He is known for playing with strength, using his powerful shot, and working hard around the front of the net. Coaches like his physical style, and many scouts still believe he has the potential to become a reliable NHL goal scorer. Even though his NHL opportunities have been limited so far, many people believe there is much more to his game than fans have seen. But here is where the story becomes even more interesting. There is still one major question nobody can answer. If Miroshnichenko has so much potential, why would the Washington Capitals even consider letting him go? That question has created a huge debate among hockey fans, and the possible answer could completely change the way this trade rumor is viewed. The biggest reason this trade idea is getting so much attention is because of Washington's current roster. The Capitals have several forwards fighting for NHL spots, making it difficult for every young player to get regular ice time. Sometimes a talented prospect needs a fresh start with another team to reach his full potential. That is why some analysts believe Toronto could take advantage of the situation. It is important to remember, though, that there is no report saying Washington is actively trying to trade Ivan Miroshnichenko. Right now, this is an idea being discussed by hockey writers and analysts, not a confirmed deal. For the Maple Leafs, this type of move could make sense. Toronto's management has shown that it wants to stay competitive while also getting younger. Instead of spending big money on another veteran player, adding a young forward with room to grow could be a smart, long-term decision. Miroshnichenko is still on an affordable contract, which is valuable for a team that has to carefully manage its salary cap. If he develops into a consistent scorer, the Leafs could gain a quality player without giving up a major part of their future. Of course, every trade comes with risk. Miroshnichenko has shown flashes of his talent, but he has not yet played a full NHL season as an everyday player. That means nobody knows exactly how he would perform with bigger minutes against the league's best competition. Toronto would have to believe that its coaches and development staff could help unlock the next level of his game. If that happens, the move could look brilliant. If it does not, fans may wonder whether the team should have chased a more proven player instead. Another question fans are asking is what Toronto would need to give up. At this point, there is no confirmed trade package. Some people believe a mid-round draft pick or a young prospect could be enough, while others think Washington would ask for more because of Miroshnichenko's potential. Toronto just made a move so risky that it could change the future of the whole franchise forever. After a shocking drama behind closed doors, management pulled off a secret deal nobody expected. Now fans are completely divided, and one question is hanging over everything. Did this bold gamble save the team or start a disaster they can never escape? The Toronto Maple Leafs are entering a completely new era. After a painful regular season that saw them miss the playoffs, the front office knew big changes had to happen. The entire fan base demanded answers, and management responded by tearing down old habits to rebuild from the ground up. New general manager John Chayka took charge and immediately set a bold tone for the summer. With a clock ticking on Austin Matthews' contract window, the front office could not afford to play it safe. The turning point came when Lady Luck smiled on Toronto during the draft lottery. Moving up to land, the #1 overall pick gave this team a golden ticket. Selecting phenom winger Gavin McKenna instantly changed the energy around the entire city. McKenna is not just another prospect. He is a dynamic playmaker who dominated college hockey at Penn State after breaking records in Major Junior. His elite vision and high-speed passing make him the perfect partner for elite goal scorers. Experts believe placing McKenna next to Austin Matthews will give Toronto one of the most dangerous top lines in hockey. However, drafting a miracle rookie was only the first piece of a much larger puzzle. The front office spent the rest of the offseason clearing out underperforming players to fix serious roster gaps. After losing key pieces like Mitch Marner in previous years, the lineup suffered from a complete lack of balance and scoring depth. To fix this, Chayka went aggressive in the market. The Leafs landed veteran goaltender Sergei Bobrovsky to give the team stability in net. They also brought in tough, reliable skaters like Darren Radish, Nick Paul, and Colton Sissons. These additions bring championship experience and defensive toughness to a locker room that desperately needed leadership. Gavin McKenna changes that dynamic completely. As an elite passer with incredible ice vision, McKenna forces opposing defensemen to make a hard choice. If they double-team Matthews, McKenna will thread a pass through traffic to an open teammate. If they drop back to cover passing lanes, McKenna has the quick hands and speed to drive straight to the net himself. This balance is exactly what Jim Hiller's new offensive system requires. Hiller built a reputation for designing lethal power plays, and adding McKenna to the top unit gives Toronto a dynamic quarterback on the half wall. Paired with Morgan Rielly at the point and William Nylander on the opposite flank, the Leafs finally have the elite passing weapons needed to punish teams that take penalties. While the offense looks explosive on paper, the real tests will happen on the defensive end. Sergei Bobrovsky gives Toronto an experienced big game goalie, but he cannot fix structural team flaws by himself. In recent years, the Leafs struggled with turnovers in their own zone and allowed too many high-danger shots. The additions of veteran defensemen like Darren Radish and hard-nosed forwards like Colton Sissons are meant to clean up those exact mistakes. Their job is simple: clear the net front area, win board battles, and transition the puck quickly up to the speed-driven top six. However, playing in Toronto comes with heavy pressure that can crush unprepared teams. An 18-year-old rookie, even a generational talent like McKenna, will face constant media coverage and massive fan expectations from night one. Furthermore, the front office has made it clear that missing the playoffs again is completely unacceptable. Management cleared out cap space and spent big assets this summer to win immediately, not 3 years down the road. If this new system clicks early, Toronto could rapidly shoot back up the standings and challenge the top teams in the Eastern Conference. But if chemistry takes too long to build, or if injuries strike the top line again, the front office will face intense criticism for blowing their salary cap flexibility. The foundation is set, the roster is rebuilt, and the stakes have never been higher. All eyes now turn to opening night to see if this high-risk strategy pays off or completely explodes. Nobody expected this move, and now the entire hockey world is asking the same question. John Chayka promised to build a stronger Maple Leafs team around Auston Matthews, but one decision has divided fans and analysts across the NHL. Did Toronto finally create a true Stanley Cup contender? Or did Chayka leave, one major problem unsolved? When John Chayka became the new general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, everyone knew change was coming.